Hey guys, welcome back. It is Vortie here, and we're going to be covering the new units that just came out for this incredible King's Knight raid that we're getting. So, the units differ a little bit from the JP and the global version from the looks of it, but I'm not even going to focus on the JP version right now. I'm only going to focus on the global version to see exactly what we've got, right? Oh, you can see a little bit of my mic there. I should probably move that out. We'll do that later though. I don't want to fidget around too much right now. So we're looking at 4 new units that were introduced. One of them seems to be a little bit weird. At least their Trust Mastery looks weird to me at the moment, but we're going to cover that right now to see exactly what's going on. That is for Kaliva, the Deckard Cain looking unit, the old guy. Same thing with Toby. I want to know what his is, but yeah, so we'll look at all their spells, all their abilities, their Trust Masteries and everything. And if you're interested in just looking for a particular unit, in the comment section below, you're going to find the different timestamps for the different units. I'm going to be covering them from the 3-star to the 6-star. So the last unit that I'm going to cover is going to be the Jack with the Rays. Jack. So he's going to be the last guy we're going to cover, but if you're interested in just jumping to a particular unit, hit the timestamp below, and I will catch you in that part of the video. But in the meantime, we're going to be starting with Toby. Toby is a thief. Looks like a thief. His image looks pretty cool, I suppose. But let's take a look at his ability here. His ability is called Turbulent Evasion. So it's a special passive ability. Increases attack by 10%, which is nice. Chance to evade physical damage taken by 5%, and increases wind resistance by 20%. These are actually really nice Trust Masteries because you get multiple things from it. The chance to evade physical damage taken is Speed Plus. So naturally, Speed Plus is what 5% is. We were able to get Speed Plus from another raid. I believe it was like one of the spring raids. You could have gotten a bunch of them. You could have crafted them. So essentially, if you get a couple of these guys, you might as well throw away the Speed Plus ones because they're going to be a waste of space at this point. Because at this one, you get attack plus 10%, plus you get the 5% evasion, and you get wind resistance. So this is a really nice Trust Mastery to pick up. I'm hoping I get at least 4 of him and then get him maxed out, because it's going to be nice to have that, just in case to have it. You're never going to want to wear all 4 probably, but if you're going to be giving someone wind resistance, they're going to get an attack boost plus a chance to evade. So looking at his abilities all together here, I'm going to move my phone away from myself. It's distracting me. I see. I've been playing Dragon Project, and it's very distracting. Anyways, looking at his growth here, looks okay. He's got a little bit above average. He's got 30s across the board there for his maximum stats in the top. It's alright. Whatever. No biggie riggy. Attack hits, he only attacks twice. Yeah, so it's fine. Nothing crazy about him. Resistance is nothing crazy. He is limited by weapons and armor. More so, actually no, you know what? His weapons are pretty good. For a thief, that's exactly what I would expect. Same thing for his armor. That's exactly what I would expect from a thief. And he doesn't have any affinity to any magic, so he can't really do anything. We do get an exclusive equipment for him, which will allow him to do this Tornado Alley. Tornado Alley. Alright. Plus he gets Speed Plus. Speed Plus is the 5%. So if by wearing wing edges, he will get an additional 5%. Actually, I think that's for everyone. Yeah, so Speed Plus is for everyone. So you get a 5% evasion increase, which is good to have on a dagger. And it gives you 45 attack. This is actually not a bad weapon. If you want to get an additional 5% evasion if you need it. If you're really close to capping yourself out on evasion and you needed a little bit of percent, there it is. Alright, looking at its ability, he can steal. He's got a move called Sneak Attack. It's not bad. Critical hit chance. Tortoise Toss. Wind physical damage 2 times to 1. It's got a 6 hit. That's not bad. Can probably chain that. Sleight of Hand. Wind physical damage 2.2 multiplier to all enemies. And increases attack by 40% for 3 turns to all allies. This is not a bad unit. He can hide. Grand Larceny. Wind physical damage 1.8 to 1 enemy. Decreases wind resistance by 50% for 3 turns. This is actually an interesting unit. He can buff your whole party by 40%, and he can wind in peril. He wind in perils, and then can also do wind chaining damage. This is an interesting unit. This is a very interesting unit. This weapon is actually really good for this unit, and he's actually pretty good. If you get this guy, I'd probably max this guy out in the meantime. If he ever gets his 6-star awakening, this guy could be an interesting threat. If he gets more wind attacking moves. He is limited in his kit, but still, it's alright. If he could wear Katana, it could have wore Koyoki, I think it's called Koyoki, the one that has wind damage on it, would have made him even more interesting. Alright, looking at his traits. Critical up, 20% chance to do more crits. He can, obviously he's a thief. He's got camouflage, 50% chance less of being attacked. Evasive maneuvers, chance to evade physical damage taken by 30%. Chance of ignoring fatal damage 30% when hit points is 30% or above. Nice, lots of 30s there. You can do it only once. Defense 15 up, undead killer, not bad. Jump shot, chance to counter physical attacks, very good. Attack a little bit. Seeker of things unseen. Increased success rate of stealing. Obtain Gilwin stealing. Very nice. And he's also got demon killer. Not a bad unit. Not a bad unit at all. Looking at his limit burst, you have righteous thief. Wind physical damage, 3.65 multiplier to all enemies. Negate 2 physical damage taken for 3 turns. Not bad. This is not a bad unit at all, actually. I know there's people are going to sit there and argue about it, saying it's like, oh yeah, like he's not that great. This is a 3-star unit, okay? And he's got some very solid abilities. If he was a 5-star, or he could go up to 6-star, he would probably be very powerful. Could be very powerful, actually. I'm very curious to see how well Tortoise Toss chains and what its frames are and if it can chain with anything else. I like it. I like it. This 40% buff too is very nice. This is actually a really nice unit to have for a beginner. Even for people who have been playing for a while, this is going to be a very interesting unit. Overall, Toby, very cool unit. His Trust Mastery is actually pretty cool too because it'll replace a bunch of the other ones you don't have, like you have but you don't want anymore. So that's pretty good. Alright, let's take a look at Barusa. Barusa is a dinosaur. His job is a gigant. A gigant? I don't know what a gigant job is. Tank is, tank. His role is tank or support. Tank. Support. Should probably move, not that way, this way. Tank support. Alright. Let's see. Let's see. I need that green screen bad. I gotta have it behind me ASAP so that I can stand wherever. You guys don't kind of get confused why I'm leaning or whatever. But anyways, role as tank and support. Limited time, yes. Variation. This isn't juice stuff. Exclusive variation. He's a beast. And looking at his Trust Mastery, it's called Coward Courage. Increased defense by 30%. Not bad, very good. Increases earth resistance by 30%, very nice. And he's got a move here, enables use of Primal Instinct. Primal Instinct is physical mitigation by 30% for 3 turns to all allies. This is a very nice Trust Mastery. I hope I get at least one of him, because this is a very nice Trust Mastery to have. The 30% defense is outright already crazy. Earth resistance additionally is as a solid top. But then having an additional ability that also increases the amount of damage you guys receive, decreases the amount of damage you guys receive is actually really nice. If you do get this guy, make sure you feed him those free Trust Mastery Moogles and get him leveled up ASAP. Let's see how useful he's going to be as a tank. His, what do you call it, little pixel art here looks really good. I don't know why it's slipping my mind. Overall stats, hit points are a little bit low for a tank. Stats increases, weak on the attack, really good on defense, and a little bit average for everything else. Dang it, people with the phone. Should have just turned it off. So popular. No. Alright, so he's got an innate ability of 20% earth resistance. That's really nice. If he wears his own Trust Mastery, he's got 50% earth resistance. That's really good. Ooh, I see what's going on here. His equipment limitations are daggers and claws. Daggers and claws. I don't have any claws come to mind right now that are going to be really good for a tank. Oh, actually, yeah, we do. We have the one from the Final Fantasy Lightning Returns event. Where is it? There it is. Winged Saint. That could be good for him. 56 attack, 44 defense. Obviously, this is good high tide and stuff like that. Or what do you call it? Against arm, but we're talking about defense. 10 spirit. So honestly, I think that's probably going to be his best bet. Hell's Claw. Yeah, I don't think anything else is going to be super duper for him. Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't put anything on him other than this Winged Saint, because he's a tank, right? So it's going to be pointless to put anything else on him. So might as well put that on there. Okay, he's got a good selection of armors. He's got all the shields, hat, male armor, heavy armor, accessories, no affinities to magic. He's got an exclusive equipment for him, which is going to be that shield. It's called Grasping Sphere. Let me see how you craft this. Is this the one? No, okay, so it's very easy to craft. You can actually craft multiples of it. So crafting sphere, Grasping Sphere, armor, it's a light shield, 133 hit points, very nice. Defense 28, spirit 28, very good. This is going to be good for a lot of units. Earth resistance plus 30% additionally, as well as enables the use of Carpet Bomb, which is for Barusa only. And I believe that is just 2 times physical earth damage to all enemies and will increase the caster, or Barusa's defense by 50% for 2 turns. Not a bad ability to have, especially on an item that is actually pretty decent for this unit. Obviously there's better armors out there, but this is actually really nice. That additional 133 hit points is a flat stat, which means any multiplier on it is going to just make it grow that much more. So you get 10% on it, you're going to get another 13 life or whatever increase on it. Looking at his abilities, active abilities. So he's got Battle Boons. Cure all status ailments to caster, increase resistance to all status ailments by 100% for 3 turns. Not bad. Actually, that's really good. That's actually a very cool ability to have right off the bat. So it removes everything off of him, plus it makes him immune for 3 turns. Very good to have on a tank, actually. He's got Force Shield Magic. Mitigate magic damage taken by 24.8%. Because why not? For 3 turns to 1 ally. Increases spirit by 80% for 3 turns to 1 ally. It's not bad. So a shield that will make you take less magic damage, plus increase your spirit by 80%. So you're getting a 24.8% boost, plus an additional boost from the spirit. Very good. Force Field Attack. Mitigate a physical damage taken by 25% for 3 turns to 1 ally, and increase defense by 80% for 3 turns. I'm not sure if this is some sort of typo or not, but I can't really put my finger on why this is 25 and that's 24.8. But we'll leave that. Next one is called Encourage. Increase limit burst fill rate by 200% for 5 turns for the caster. Okay. Adventurer's Guardian increases chance of being targeted by 100% for 2 turns to the caster, and mitigate damage taken by 20% for 2 turns. Damn! I don't think you guys understand, especially if you're new. Those of you who are not new, you probably understand why this is very interesting. For those who are new, a lot of the early tanks don't have 100% provoke. They don't. They have like a 60% or 50 or 40 or whatever, depending which tank you have. This 4-star base tank that goes to 6-star, when he's a 5-star, has a 100% chance for you to be able to steal somebody's attention. And on top of that, while he's tanking, he takes 20% less damage. Damn, that is actually really good. Next ability here, when he's a 6-star, he learns Primeval Howl. Earth physical damage 3 times with defense scaling to 1 enemy. And it's a 7 hit, so you can chain this if you really wanted to have a group of tanks. Trample, physical damage, and then decreases earth resistance. So he's got Earth Imperil on there by 50%, which is not that bad. You can get better from Aileen. Protector of Ulthia. Chance to protect all allies from physical damage by 50% with damage mitigation by 50% for 3 turns. Wow, this guy is actually really good. He's a good tank. I mean, his stats are a little bit weak, but then again, he is on par with like the other tanks that we got are getting in the game. A little bit of weak hit points, yes, still. Defense is not that bad, but like, yeah, like overall, damn. Let's see his traits here. Gigant, which is his drop trait, increases defense and hit points by 20%, so he'll get a boost there. Increases physical damage against dragons by 50%, which is pretty good. Master of Spheres, defense. So his defense and hit points will increase by 30% when he's wearing either a light shield or a heavy shield. So obviously gearing him for a tank, which is really good. Increases chance of being targeted by 50%. So in his kit, he has a 50% chance of being targeted, whether you provoke or not. So if you wear this plus that pink pink float that we had from the Ariana banner, I think that's 20%. That's 70% chance of being targeted without having to do anything. Like you don't even have to provoke. That's 70%. That's as much as you would get from someone like Warrior of Light. That's what? This is going to be a very interesting unit. I hope I actually at least get one of this guy. Trusted Buddy increases MP by 30%, increases resistance to paralyze and confusion by 100%, which is amazing to have on a tank. It's amazing to have on any unit, but on a tank especially. Defensive Prowess increases defense and spirit by 50% when hit points drops below 50%. Very good. I like this unit. I also like his sprite. It's very cool. Looking at his ability here for Limit Burst, it's called Volcanic Eruption. Fire physical damage 3.25 multiplier to all enemies. Decreases fire resistance by 74%. That is a very solid fire imperil. But we can get better, I think, or close to, from, if it's not Ace, at 6-star, at 7-star Ace I think does 74%. So using this, maxing this out is not going to be worth your while, is what I'm trying to get to. Overall, a very incredible unit as well. Very good for a beginner as a tank. Even for those of us that have been playing for a while, I think this will be a very nice tank that you can probably utilize at times. He also has innate earth resistance, so we never know when we're going to get additional earth bosses where this guy is going to be very effective against them. I like it. I like it a lot. Very, very cool looking unit too. He's got a little dragon. I like it. I like it. Alright, let's hit up the next unit. Looking at the next unit here, it's going to be Kaliva. Kaliva is the one that's got me very confused. He's a 4-star going to 6-star. He's a wizard. I gotta take a look at this and see what's going on here. Alright, increases spirit by 10%. Increases... Okay, alright, this is better. When you're looking at his Trust Mastery, just as it appears on the banner, it says increases... spirit by 10% and magic when equipped with a single one-handed weapon. That's what it says if you look at the in-game description. What it's missing, it's supposed to be increases spirit by 10% and then additionally, like a comma after, and magic by 50% when single wielding one-handed weapon. This is actually pretty good. So you get an increase by 50% in magic, and you get a 10% spirit buff as well to make sure you can take some damage. Not bad. This is not a stackable Trust Mastery, which is pretty good. I mean, for 50% magic, that's actually fine. I think a lot of people will be okay with that. Okay, that had me really worried that this unit was going to be doo-doo. He was going to be the only crappy unit here. Or sorry, crappy Trust Mastery here. Very, very cool. Actually, this is very nice. So far, everything I've seen is amazing. Even the 3-star for Toby is actually really... it's really good. In my case, for Toby, and the reason I'm saying Toby is really cool, anytime you have an attack Trust Mastery that's 10% attack, anywhere you had 5% speed, anywhere you had resistance as well, you can technically really just throw those away if you have too many of them and save up some space, and you can have it all in one Trust Mastery, which is really cool. So let's say you get tons of Tobys and you get, let's say, 10 Toby things. You can actually get rid of a lot of those other 10% attack and your speed plus, because you're never going to have that many units equipped with that anyways, and you just freed up 2 additional slots for the price of 1. That's the way I look at it, and that's normally how I get rid of Trust Masteries. If I find that there's a redundancy and I find that there's Trust Masteries I will never use, like you know, 10% attack, 10% hit points. Those used to be really good back when, you know, when you're a new player, but as you get as a more prominent player and you get 20% hit points and 30% hit points, enough to be worn on 5 units, you really don't need anymore. You can just throw them away and free up some space. Alright, he is a wizard, magic, damage, and healing. Alright, he's a human, unmatched wizardry, is a Trust Mastery, very cool. Looking at his stats, not bad. His hit points is actually really good for a caster. Good magic, low spirit, which is fine. He's not really supposed to be a healer, but we'll see. We'll see. Overall stats, growth, everything is mediocre. Actually, no, hit points is really good. His MP is really good. Attack, defense, and spirit are average. And then looking at his magic is actually really good. I like this. This is one of my favorite things about some of these units. He's got an elemental resistance to ice and water. So certain units, I believe, should be strong to certain elements. Like, for example, like William. William is, when I see him, I think he should have like fire resistance. Like, he should naturally have it in his kit, fire resistance, because of how he looks and, you know, the element, and when you see him and stuff like that, they should have stuff like that. So, sir, another thing that I would like to bring up is, like, for example, like the Veritas. The Veritas have to have those things on there, like water resistance, earth resistance, light resistance. it just makes sense because that's what their element is, right? You want to make sure you have those. So looking at his equipment here, you can either wear rods or staffs. Okay, makes sense. Hats, cloth, robes, and accessories. He's got level 7 and level 8 affinity. So level 7 for white magic, level 8 for black magic. Very good. Looking at his exclusive item, Staff of Blizzards. You get attack 16, 78 magic. It's got element of water on it, and it's got aquatic implosion, which is water magic damage 2 times to one enemy and increases defense by 40% for 3 turns to all allies. Very nice. This actually goes really well with the other units in there. You can have a very solid party with this. 40% defense buff off of a weapon that's on a black mage healer or whatever. So let's take a look at his active abilities. He's got focus magic, piercing shot, ice damage 1.5 multiplier, and it'll ignore the spirit by 30%. It's a 5 hit, so it's pretty good for chaining. We got the same thing for the focus magic for water shot. Water will it'll deal water damage by 1.5 multiplier to one enemy, and it'll heal 1000 hit points as a 3.4 multiplier to the caster, and it's a 5 hit. Oh dang, that's right, they have the frames here. 866 attack frames, 8, 14, 20, 26, 8, 14, 20, 26, 32, 8, 14, 8, 14. Okay, so piercing shot and water shot can chain. 8666. Yeah, so they got the same frames. 8, 14, 20, 26, 32, 8, 14, 20, 26, 32 with the same delay. So these two can actually chain really well with each other, and they're both as a 1.5 multiplier. Not bad. Focus healing, regen field, heal 1800 hit points as a 9 times multiplier, split over 3 turns to all allies. Not bad. Focus healing, revive, 10% raise. Not bad. Focus healing, circle of healing. It's an AoE. Oh, it's a Kiraja. It's a 3.4 multiplier. Yeah, it's a Kiraja. It's a very cheap Kiraja too, which is the same cost. Focus magic, frostbite, increases magic damage by ice magic damage 2.2 multiplier. And if you keep using it over and over, it'll increase for a maximum of 4.2 as max, and it's an AoE. Not bad. An ability called Promotion heals 2000 hit points as a 3. Is that serious? 40 hit points. So this is a Kiraga as a Kiraja. So it's 2000 hit points as a 3 times multiplier to everyone. So it's an AoE heal. It will also increase the spirit by 80% for 2 turns to the caster, which is going to be this old man, and enables access to the following ability for 1 turn called Focus Healing. So he can use Focus Healing. Okay, well, so Focus Healing. Use Focus Healing skill thrice in 1 turn. Oh, okay. So if you use this move here, then you will get Focus Healing where you can actually use Kiraja. So any of these. So Focus Healing, Focus Healing, Focus Healing. So any of these 3 abilities 3 times. So you can either do the Regen Field 3 times, which is dumb. So I would do Regen Field and then 2 of these Circle of Healing, and your party would be full health. That's actually really crazy. He could literally heal up your whole party. You can actually do 3 times this, which would kill you to full. You would be full life. Wow, this is actually very cool. So let's say you knew you were going to take a devastating hit where you're going to be brought down really low. Turn before that, you will heal everybody. Make sure that you can take more magic damage by boosting your spirit by 80% for 2 turns. And then next turn, literally either revive or heal or regen your party. Like do 1 regen and then 3 of those. That's actually really cool. Okay, looking at his traits. Sorry, I was just daydreaming about what I could possibly do with this unit. Increases MP by 30%, really good for him. Resistance to petrify by 100%, not bad. Spirit plus 30%, very good. Path of Wizardry, increases equipment magic 100% when single wielding one-handed weapon. Increases equipment magic 100% when single wielding one-handed weapon. Increases magic by 20%. What? Increase equipment magic by 100% when single wielding a one-handed weapon. So I guess you would get double the magic if you're wearing a rod or a staff. That's actually really cool. So if you're using something like, say, has 100 magic, now you have 200 magic you got from it. So it's literally like you're dual wielding. Very cool. Very cool, especially for those new players who don't have dual wield. This is really cool. This is a way to get a double effect from your item that you're wearing in your one hand because you only have one item because you're new or whatever. Very cool. So these are the abilities here. You got Icicle Press, Focus Magic, use Focus Magic 3 times. Icicle Press is from... Oh, sorry, yeah, I missed that move. So if you use Icicle Press, it does magic damage 2 times to all enemies, decreases ice and water resistance by 50% for 3 turns to all enemies, and enable access to the following thing, Focus Magic. So Focus Magic allows you to use either the Focus Magic Piercing Shot or Water Shot or Frostbite 3 times. So I think in this case, if you're looking to chain, then you would be looking at Piercing Shot or Water Shot. Otherwise, I think for damage, it might actually be better to do the Frostbite because you would go increases at 1 times each, so 3, then 4. So you can actually get the maximum of this one. It's a single hit though, 120 attack frame. So it's a little bit long. So you could actually cast this 3 times. Now, very interesting unit overall. I think he's actually pretty cool. He's an old man, like I said. He looks like Deckard Cain from Diablo. I actually think he looks really cool. So overall, this unit is not that bad either. His unmatched wizardry is actually really good. Now that I know what it does, it's actually really, really good. I hope I get one of him. I hope you guys get one of him too. Alright, let's jump over to the last guy and cover the big kahuna from this banner. It's going to be Rayjack. Rayjack is actually the unit that you would have been playing when you started the game. He is the dude with the sword that you play right from the bat. This is back in the day. So I'm having a very hard time remembering it. I don't think I've ever played it. Maybe once, maybe twice. Back in the arcade. But that looks... I think it was the knight, if I remember correctly. So, he is a warrior. 5-star going to 6-star. Rare summon. He is limited. Yes. He's got an ability called White Knight's Soul. Increases attack by 40% when equipped with a helmet. Increases defense by 40% when equipped with heavy armor. You can get 40 attack and 40 defense off this guy, which is actually not that bad. Most of the new damage dealers that are dealing a lot of damage do wear helmets and they do wear heavy armor. So this is actually a really solid thing for you. It's going to give you an increase in attack, plus some defense to make sure you survive. Overall, ooh, pardon-moi. Pardon-moi. Overall, it's really good based on the meta. Yeah, based on the meta where we're heading right now, this is actually a really good thing. And the reason why is we're really close, not really close, but we're approaching that 7-star meta very soon. And we're slowly going to be capping out on the percentages, like 300% for your attack, 300% for magic, or whatever. So having 50% all the time is not going to be most beneficial for you. What you're going to want to try and do is build a unit that can also do a ton of damage but can survive as well. So this is going to be able to kind of fulfill that. The one thing you need to take a note is they don't stack. So bye-bye. Let's take a look at his stats here. So he's supposed to be just a warrior. So he's a physical damage dealer and he's a tank. So for a tank, he's got really low life right off the bat. The growth for his life though as he levels up is very high. His MP is actually pretty good too, and then everything else is slightly above average. As you guys don't know, I say average. Average is 26 for a 6-star, and everything else above that is above average. So if you see 27, 30, 34, whatever, 34 is like the top tier, so it's like way above average, like 34 plus if you see stats growing. 5-star 20 is just solid. That's actually really interesting. He gets good growth, but at 3-star, no buffs, no nothing, he's looking at 3,594, which is less than Barusa, who's also a tank. Good MP, good attack, defense is low for a tank, magic is low, of course, and his spirit is low for a tank. It's very good for a physical damage dealer, but very low for a tank. Very low. He doesn't have any resistances. He's got a good selection of weapons, even though it is a limited amount of weapons. But looking at the 3 items I see there, I see swords or daggers. Sorry, not daggers. Sorry, short swords, great swords, and katana, which is very good for a damage dealer. He can wear all the armors that are required for tanks, except robes, from the looks of it. And he's got accessories, which is great. No affinity to magic, which is a little bit meh. It doesn't really matter. He's got an exclusive item here called Lightbringer. So Lightbringer is 96 attack with a light element on it. Morning Star will increase, so it does light physical damage 2.2 times to one enemy and recovers hit points by 15% to the caster. Okay, not bad. Whatever. That's only for Rayjack. So looking at his abilities here, so let's see what's gonna, if he's gonna be a true tank or if he's gonna be more of a damage dealer. So first ability he has here is Weapon Break. That's going to be obviously a break to attack. He's got a 1.8 multiplier, not bad. He's got the same thing for shield, which is for defense. He's got Brave Presence. So this is a little bit interesting. So he can use Provoke, but it's a 1-turn Provoke. So he can take damage for 1 turn if he needed to. I don't know if I would want to use him as a tank yet. Lightning Strike. Light physical damage 4 times multiplier to 1 enemy and negate 2 physical damage taken for 3 turns to caster. It's a 6 hit. 46, 51, 56, 61, 67. Is that a very wonky frame rate? 46, 51. That looks familiar. I'll have to double check that. I think that's 46, 51. Is that similar to Grimlord Sakura? I might be crazy. Anyways, I'll just avoid that for now because I can't remember. 46, 51. It'll come to me. So that's actually pretty cool. It's a chaining ability that you can use and will negate 2 physical attacks. Not bad. Next one is called the Stuff of Legend. That's a cool name for an ability. Very cool name for an ability. Increase slight resistance by 50% for 3 turns to all allies. Increase attack and defense by 40% for 3 turns to allies. Not bad. That's not a bad buff. You get the attack and defense plus light. Not bad. He's got Lance in his kit, which is fine. Rally, which is similar to what we get from William's buffed one. So he gets increased attack and defense, break resistance by 100% for 3 turns to all allies. So it's not bad. So you can break. Where could this be useful? This skill is particularly useful for this fight that we get in the raid, because he does break your attack and defense and fire resistance. Interesting. All right, not bad. You could use it. I mean, he is a physical damage dealer. You might bring him along as a main damage dealer, and then use him as a way to kind of support your team as well, so that you don't get your attack or defense broken for 3 turns. Well, not bad. Holy Affliction. Light physical damage 4 times multiplier to all enemies. It's a 6 hit as well. And it's got very long and very weird attack frames once again. 132. Yeah, these are very long, and it's got a lot of animation. There's going to be a lot of animation on those frames. Yeah, very long animation for this Holy Affliction. What I'm assuming it's similar to Holy Explosion, where the unit will run up, he'll hit the boss, and then like the Holy will go all the way up, and then it comes back down slowly. I think that's what the frames are like. And while that's happening, it looks like he's also hitting in between. So 32, 38, he does 2 strikes, something happens, then he does another strike, and then something happens, and then thing again. So yeah, we'll have to see exactly what happens. Luminous Strike, light physical damage 4.5 to 1 enemy, inflicts blind, silence, and paralyzed by 30% chance. Not bad. A decent PvP move here. Low frames, not bad. Same thing, 6 as well. And then he's got Sacred Strike, physical damage 2.2 with ignore defense by 50% to 1 enemy, decrease light resistance by 50% for 3 turns to 1 enemy, and that is going to be his strongest hitting attack. Hands down. Equipped it with a light weapon. It's probably something like Excalibur. And then using this move here to break the light resistance and then go for it. And there's no frames here for this one, so I don't know how good this is going to be. But it's going to be very interesting. So if you bring Orlando with him, you guys can probably do some... It won't be a perfect chain. It's not going to be perfect. Actually, it won't be very close to perfect because these are very long. So these ones are short. This one up here, Holy Affliction, is very long. I don't think that's gonna... No, I don't think that's gonna go really well with Orlando. This one you might be able to. And I don't know what the frames are on this one, so this could also be a potential for you to maybe do some sort of elemental chaining. Because he can also do a break for light resistance. So can Orlando, so you guys can kind of mix and match and see what you can do with those guys. Overall, his kit at the beginning here looks okay. Looking at his traits, he's got Callum's Chosen, increases resistance to blind and paralyze and petrify 100%. He also has an auto regen and auto MP on himself, or refresh. So auto heal is 30 hit points, 3.6 multiplier per turn. Then it's got 5% return on his MP, which is what most 5 stars should have right now, so that's good. Helping Hand, he's got a chance of countering physical attacks by 20% with a move called Helping Hand. He can do max 1 per turn. Restores hit points by 10% and MP by 5% to all allies. So if he gets hit, he heals everyone by 10% and recovers their MP by 5%. Very sick move. Callum's Bressing. Callum's Blessing increases hit points and attack by 30%, increases physical damage against dragons by 50%, increases light resistance by 50%. A very solid attribute to have on this unit. Increases defense by 30. He's got sword mastery when equipped with a sword. Sword? So not great sword? Sword? Sword. So any of these swords, I guess, yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Equipped with any type of sword, he'll get an increase by 50% attack, so he's got it in his kit, might as well put that on him. He's got Order of the Blue Wing, chance to protect one ally from physical damage by 50%, so a 50% chance of protecting them and a 50% mitigation. Helping Hand, we saw that. Looking at his ability called Hero of Legend, light physical damage 4 multiplier or 4.2 with ignore defense by 50% to all enemies. Add light elemental to physical attacks for 1 turn to all allies. Increases attack and defense by 100% for 3 turns. Oh, to the caster. My bad. I thought that said to all allies. That would have been an insane thing to buff out, but it's not the case. So in this case, if you're fighting a monster who's weak to light, using this limit burst is going to make you do a hell of a lot of damage. You'll do a lot of damage with it, with the 2 multiplier, or if you maxed it out with the 4.2. But having everybody able to do light elemental physical damage for at least 1 turn, you can actually make a crazy elemental chain on that and just kick some ass. Actually, not bad. Very cool. He's an okay unit. How do I feel about him? Should you pull for him? No. He's a limited unit. So like in the case of a completionist, yeah, you should go for him. Like he looks okay. He looks just like a armored knight. I mean, like he's not huge. I mean, I don't care. I probably will not pull any more than I already have on him. I'll do the daily pulls to get some units. If I don't get anything by the end of before the banner is about to go and I want to get myself a Kaliva or a Barusa, I might do a 5 or a 10,000 lapis pull, and only to try and get those other units, especially if I have multiple trust masteries of them. I might do a pull just for that. To go for Ray Jack, he's not offering anything particularly special that I would say is a must-have right now that's going to change the game or make him super powerful right now. Currently, the game is very heavy on double hand meta right now. You can get the highest attack units right now you can probably get is going to be someone like Randy, who's got, you know, Cloud's Trust Mastery as well as Elfrida's Trust Masteries, and just building the double hand on him, you can get like around 1700, maybe 1800 attack right now. So he's probably going to be the biggest damage dealer. So this guy doesn't focus on double hand, so it'll be in the same type of style of game that we've seen before, where it's like, you know, you're dual wielding and you're making him do double attacks and stuff like that. He's got some potential for chaining with light. Once we see what the frames are in this, it could be pretty good to chain maybe with someone like Orlando, like another light unit. But other than that, overall he's a decent unit. But like to pull Armid Hammond Bacon Soda for him, I wouldn't. If you do get him, you should be very happy because he's a decent unit. He's a decent unit. As far as my final words on the banner, it is alright. The banner is okay. As far as like we wanted to go heavy on it. As far as the Trust Masteries, I think this is a very good banner. Calvia's got an amazing Trust Mastery. This is a good way for you to get some very good buffs to your units, though you can only wear 1, but you can now have a 50% increase in your magic to all your units if you get 3 or 4 or 5 of them, right? Same thing with Barusas as well. Same thing with Toby. Very good. Yeah. I don't know, guys. Look at that. On my second 10+1 pull on this fake banner thing, which I think is completely rigged, I got 2 Ray Jacks. No, not Vortie's luck. Anyways, guys, let me know how you guys are doing. If you pulled on this banner, if you got the unit, is there something I missed? Is there something that you guys are seeing in light of these units? Like, you're like, oh my god, this unit is going to be amazing for this. You should pull for this unit. I know Barusa is very unique. Kaliva is actually very interesting too. Toby is probably there just for his Trust Mastery, though he's got some potential for being able to be useful, especially if he gets his like 6-star rating later. When these units get their buffs, I think they're gonna be very strong later on in the meta. When they get their buffs and maybe their enhancements, they could become very powerful, all of them. But in the meantime, they're pretty good, but very good for the Trust Mastery. But let me know what you guys think. And as far as Rajack goes, is there something that you like about Rajack maybe that I missed that maybe I should pull for? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm very curious to hear about that. As well as, how do you feel about their Trust Masteries? Are you hyped like I am? Because I think Kaliva's Trust Mastery is actually very good. Though originally I thought it was very garbage because I didn't see the 50%. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like and subscribe button. I will see you guys in the next video. This is Vortie, and I'm out of here. Peace.
Decided.